guys! Thought we'd take a little bit of a break from all the travel vlogs and the backpacking diaries that I've been doing, because I know not everybody loves travel vlogs and I wanted to throw in some casual videos in between. So this week we are doing a little catch-up Q&A chat. I feel like it's very much needed. I haven't done a sit-down casual video in a few months. And while we do that, I'm going to go through this shoebox full of memories, and I want to go through it and find some photos and things to decorate my walls with, because right now I'm still in the process of getting my room together and decorating it, and just in general fully moving in, which I guess leads into our first update. As I'm filming this, obviously I'm now back home from all of my travels this past summer. If you guys did not know, I went on a backpacking trip for 3.5 months around the world. I went to Europe, Asia, Australia, and I'm not gonna talk too much about that. I'm gonna be doing a whole separate recap video on my backpacking trip and everything I learned and the unpack with me, because when I filmed the pack with me video, a lot of you guys wanted the unpack with me video, so I'll be doing that as well. Been back home for about 2 weeks now, and I've just been adjusting back to home life, you know, setting my routine. Oddly enough, it wasn't very difficult to readjust from hopping from bed to bed and traveling all the time and just constantly on the move to just being back home. I thought it would be a little bit hard, or at least strange, but surprisingly I got right back into it like that. It was honestly more weird feeling like nothing even happened, like I haven't been traveling for the past 3.5 months. It kind of just felt like I never even left in the first place. So yeah, I've just been getting my room together. I did spend the other weekend unpacking officially all my boxes, because also, if you did not know, I now live back in Northern California, back in Sacramento, my hometown. So if you don't know the lore, I was in LA for about 3 years, and then I decided that I wanted to go backpacking and travel more, so I moved back home in May, and then I only spent about a month home before I was traveling. So I didn't really get to officially move in yet. So I've also, I guess, just been like adjusting to moving to a new place, because technically I did move. The one thing that I don't have is just like proper storage and furniture. Until then, I've just shoved everything under my bed and into the closet as much as I can. I also made this makeshift bookshelf for now out of my books and these slabs of wood that I had. I also just needed a cute little setup for my videos, so this was my solution. I actually think it's pretty cute. I kind of want to do like a series where I decorate my room. These are all the Polaroids we took for my As Long As You Love Me shoot, which if you guys did not know, I have music out. Go listen. Going through these memories is making me like miss LA a bit, but I'm going to LA literally in like 2 weeks. I'm fine. I'm gonna be able to see my friends again. It's been a long time. It's gonna be like 4 months since I've seen my friends back in LA. I've been catching up on work, because when I came home I had just a bunch of brand deals and stuff that I needed to get done, because I was like delaying them until I got back. I've kind of built almost a 9 to 5 work schedule for myself, and I think it's actually really working for me. Another big reason why I'm really excited to be back now is I can finally start working on music again. My next goal is to make an EP, so I'm doing that. That probably won't be done for like honestly a year. I'm just gonna be so honest with you guys, I have not recorded anything for that. I have not recorded anything for my EP. Sorry guys, sorry. But we are getting started on it now. Like, I'm gonna start recording this week, so don't worry. It's still probably gonna take a year to finish, but it's gonna get there. You're gonna get it. Other life updates, I got a new phone case because my other one was literally ripping from the seams. This one is from Taurus, who's actually the sponsor of this video. Taurus is the original creator of standcases. Their cases are very sleek and aesthetic, but also multifunctional. With their O-Stand 360 spin phone case, it's a protective case, mag-safe, a kickstand, and a phone grip all in one. I really love the satisfying like clicky noise it has. Also, the design really resonates with me. The 3 lines around the edge represents the hands of a clock, while the O stand forms the clock face. It perfectly ties into their Be Here Now philosophy, encouraging us to live in the moment. And they have their mini mag power bank, which is basically having a second battery for your phone. It's super thin. It's like 3 cards stacked on top of each other. And both products fit easily into my pocket without any bulk. It's quickly become my go-to essential and favorite when traveling. I'm definitely bringing this along with me when I go to Seattle and Chicago this fall. Speaking of healthy habits, fitness has been another big priority for mine, because I did not have access to a gym while traveling, so my working out was very inconsistent. So coming back, I was really motivated to hit the gym right away, and I've been going pretty consistently. I've been going with my sister, and I never really go to the gym with anyone. Like, I've never had like a gym buddy, so being able to go with my sister is pretty nice, because it helps to have someone there to keep you accountable. Oh, also today I think I'm gonna go to the bouldering gym and sign up for a membership. I've been like kind of debating if I should or not, but I think today I'm actually gonna do it. I went climbing last week with some friends, and climbing is always just something that I've wanted to get into. And I want to become a climber. I think that's my new hobby I'm gonna take in. And I just really like the community of climbers. I don't know, every time I go to a bouldering gym, I feel like everyone's always so nice and talking to each other. Oh my god, I almost threw up in my mouth. I love handwritten notes. It's so sweet. I love this Polaroid of me. I don't know why, I just really like this photo of myself. Last thing about setting my new routine and adjusting back to this new home life is I need to make more new friends. And that's partially why I want to join the bouldering gym, is because I feel like that's a good way to make friends. Obviously, I do already have friends here. I literally came out of the womb and grew up here till I was 19 years old. So I do have my like closest, bestest friends I've been friends with for years and years here, and it's been really nice to be able to actually hang out with them and spend time with them again. They were my hometown friends and I would just come back and see them like once or twice a year, but now I get to see them on a weekly basis, which has been really sweet. I've really missed my friends. But that being said, while I do love my friends, I only got about 3 friends here. And you know, it's all about quality over quantity, I understand. But now that I do live in NorCal full time for at least the next 2-ish years in my mind plan that I have going on, I feel like it'd be good and healthy for me to get out there, be a part of the community, because you know, that's what I had to do in LA. Now I have to kind of rebuild that community again here. Because technically, although I have lived here before, it's still a new town for me, a new life. Oh, a bike lock. I don't know if I remember the passcode to this. Speaking of travel, I have fall travel plans. I'm going to Chicago and Seattle, which might sound a little crazy because I know I just traveled a lot, and honestly, the thought of going on another plane right now sickens me. Because I knew I wanted to experience fall more towards the East Coast. I actually originally was even gonna go to New York and Boston. Plans have changed. I'm not doing that. Honestly, the only reason why I'm even going to these places is because my friends have recently moved to these places, so I'm visiting them. Really love fall. I'm really excited to be able to like wear sweaters, light candles, drink hot drinks, go to the cafe and like be all cozy and work and I don't know, read books and watch movies. And yes, I'm saying that as it's 100 degrees outside for me right now. Here are all the photos and stuff that I'm gonna put on my wall, I think. Okay, last life update that I want to talk about, which is I think is the meat of this video, but I wanted to talk about rejection. Guys, I hate to say it, but I did recently get out of, I guess a situationship. I know. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but I do also love spilling tea. So if you guys would like the full details and story time, I'm gonna make a video and put it on my Patreon. Anyway, to make a long story short, I went through, I guess, a talking stage, and I ended up getting led on for 3 months. The entire summer. You know what, guys? It happens to even the strongest soldiers. What can I say? Now that's been about 2 weeks, I'm like fine now. I feel like I process my emotions really fast, but I'm just not really an emotional person in general. But after this situation, guys, I was feeling so much big emotions that I rarely ever feel. I've only felt this big of emotions one other time, and that was when I had my first crush ever. So I guess I only feel these emotions in romantic situations. I knew it was crazy when I was back home and I was driving to a cafe, and then I was listening to like my sad music that I've been hyper fixating on that week. But when I was listening to those songs in the car, I start crying? Huh? That's when I realized, oh wow, I think I liked this person more than I thought. By the way, I just wanted to come on here and say I was not crying over this person. In reality, I just barely knew this person. Honestly, I've been through this before. This is a routine for me. This was just another day. This person was just another statistic on the pattern. I was more so crying about myself and how I felt about myself, and I was mourning the romanticized idea that I've created of this person that is no longer true and no longer exists, which is a sad thing. And also I was mourning the hope and potential I had of romance in my life that is no longer an opportunity. And also later in this video, I'll be talking about a whole bunch of things, and all of that combined was why I was crying. I kind of felt the need to say that because I felt like I made myself sound like a crazy person crying over this person that I only knew for a little bit of time. It made it sound like I was giving too much power to this person, which I did not like. I felt crazy. I had to park in the parking lot and sit there for like 15 minutes to finish crying. And the thing to know about me is I never cry. Like, it's so rare for me to cry. And the fact that I was crying in a car, I just felt so cliche. This person actually wants to be friends still, which is I don't know about y'all, but that sounds batshit crazy to me. I am not the type that typically is able to be friends with people I've been romantic with. That's just not for me. That's just not my vibe, at least in the past. I don't know how people do that. I guess at the end of the day, as long as you like both lose attraction to each other, that is how you do it. I feel like that takes a very, very long time. I don't know, I just feel like that's just not a good way to build a pure friendship. All my friendships, I can confidently and genuinely say, are so pure and good and just come out of the intention of like, oh, we just really love each other as friends. And I feel like if you started out romantic and then you build a friendship, that kind of just almost corrupts that purity. I don't know, I just feel like it brings a lot of complications, for me at least. Things I think about is like, well, in this case, I was the one hurt. I was the one rejected. And I feel like a big part of like friendship is like being able to like spill all the juicy deets about like dates and romance and who you're whatever talking to. In this case, I feel like it'd be really weird. And this person actually was like, well, that's fine. Like we just set boundaries. We don't have to talk about that stuff until, you know, we feel comfortable. But in my head, I'm like, no, I don't like when stuff is withheld. I feel like that's just not how you build friendship, and that's the complication with like, this person wanting to be my friend, because I'm like, then we're not really friends. We're just acquaintances holding stuff from each other. Well, if you're my friend, I'm an open book with anybody, but like especially with my friends, I'm such an open book. I can tell them anything, and I feel like that's just not a good friendship if you can't do that. I feel like if you're friends, there's always gonna be that thought, at least in the back of my mind, like, oh, like, will they like me in the future? Like maybe they're not ready now, but in the future they could like me and want to date me. You know that they are attracted to you and you are attracted to them, and there's always gonna be that fact standing. That also kind of ruins the friendship, because then anything you guys do together, even like physical stuff, like just hugging as friends, it's gonna be looked at as romantic. I just don't know if I am mature enough to be able to do that, or even want to do that, because I'm like, why would I build this friendship that's really complicated and isn't gonna be as pure as a friendship as if I was just to make a new one with a stranger. And honestly, in this situation, I think it's the first time I'm going to try to actually be friends with someone I've been romantic with. I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but I also think it'd be something good for me to experience and learn for myself. I'm just kind of waiting until my feelings settle and I can purely look at them as a friend, because I feel like that is key in this. I think a lot of my confidence comes from the idea of faking it till you make it. And this person really brought out a lot of my insecurities, even without them trying or realizing it. They did bring out a lot of insecurities in me that I forgot I had, such as my masculinity. I don't know, I feel like lately I've been on a really, really healthy mindset where I really love my femininity, but also I love my masculinity as well. And I feel like I really had a healthy balance. And after this situation, I felt very insecure about my masculinity, and it made me think those toxic thoughts I used to think, where I was like, oh, I need to stand more prominently, and I need to not flail my arms as much, and I need to speak in a lower octave, and I don't know, be a guy. Still in the back of my brain, always kind of knew the truth about masculinity, and if you have masculinity, you get a lot of privileges from it as a man. I thought I grew enough where I no longer cared about that, but after this experience, I still don't really care about it, but it only solidified my theories about masculinity and how other people think. Because I feel like a lot of other people, they just say what they know is right, but it's not truly what they think. Does that make sense? So after this experience, I was like, wow, like you really just confirmed everything I theorized about to be true. And that really hurts, because obviously I kind of knew it was already true, because I'm just the type of person that always thinks they're right. But the fact that I got confirmation on that, the truth really hurts. I also just felt really embarrassed after this whole scenario. Nothing is more embarrassing than post-rejection clarity. Once that post-rejection clarity hits, where I start looking through all the old texts and I was like, holy crap, how did I not see this earlier? Of course they didn't like me. Look at this text, they stopped hearting it there and they started just thumbsing it up there. Oh, they said this, oh, they said this. Seeing all the details with the newfound eye. And I was like, oh my god, I was delusional. I want to give myself some grace, because I really wasn't expecting it. I really wasn't expecting to get rejected like that. Because again, I got let on for 3 months. I did, you know, tell the story to my friends and stuff, and they were there with me throughout this whole experience, so I was like updating them. And none of them told me I was being delusional. So I want to think to myself, maybe I wasn't actually being delusional. But at the end of the day, it does not matter because I think I just value my own mind too much to think that I was able to get tricked like that. I was able to get played like that. I can't help but think to myself, Dustin, you should have seen this either way though. So I guess I just got really embarrassed when I was wrong. I felt like my 18-year-old self again. My 18-year-old self was such a delusional, I keep saying delusional, but I can't think of another word right now. Basically, I was a crazy person. I remember when I was 18, I would start messaging a person and get super excited and start fantasizing about our future over time through multiple experiences. It sounds sad, but I slowly started losing the romantic side of me that like had hope. Whenever I go into a romantic situation, I make sure that I do not have expectations. I make sure that I do not have hope. When I go into a romantic scenario, I'm thinking, oh, this will probably not work out. And that might be a pessimistic way of thinking, but hey, so far, through statistics, I've had a 100% fail rate, so how are you gonna argue with that? So yeah, once I went through this talking stage, and I found myself having hope and getting disappointed, I almost got mad at myself for having hope and having expectation. Because honestly, this experience that I had, it was kind of different than any other experience I've had with any other people. It kind of got past this certain point that I wasn't used to. Usually when I start talking to someone, it's only about like a little bit of chunk of time, and then I can usually tell if it's gonna end or... My battery just died, so I kind of forgot where I left off. But basically, to wrap it up, I felt really embarrassed that I fell for it again. I know it's a very unhealthy mindset to have, but I just can't help but as I keep going through all these failed talking stages, I can't help but be nihilistic about love. I know my healthy side of my mind wants to be like, you know, you always still have to be open to it, but I can't help but feel like I'm just a statue that is slowly getting ticked away piece by piece every time I allow myself to go through these things. Because every single time, it just never works out and makes me feel shitty. While it's healthy for me to allow myself to take a chance and take a risk, I kind of know at the end of everything, I'm just gonna be hurt. I can't help but think about myself a few months ago. If you watched my You Might Die Alone and That's Okay video, I've had this mindset where I'm okay with not finding love, and if I end up alone, that's okay. There's so much more to life to experience. There's so much love from your friends and family, you know, and I'm fine with that. And I still do have that mindset. I just can't help but be very envious of my past self that was so happy and content and confident, and now I feel like that whole mindset has just kind of gotten like disheveled, so I have to kind of regain that back. I just hate feeling like I regressed in my growth, and I hated feeling embarrassed like my 18-year-old self again, because I thought I was smarter than that. I'm really tired of doing this whole love romance thing. I don't really want to do it anymore. I kind of want to cut myself off of it, but I won't. And I know all these comments are gonna be like, no Dustin, you can't do that, but I want to so bad, because I feel like that will help me be happy. That will help me never have to get sad. Because I stand by what I've said previously in my other video, where love is the one thing that makes me sad. It's like the root of a lot of my sadness and loneliness. And I feel like if I were to cut it out completely, I would be very happy. And it's very tempting. Kind of back to the friend thing, but I'm kind of over everyone always just wanting to be my friend all the time. It's like a pattern. I feel like every single person I've been interested in has always just in the end wanted to be my friend. Guys, I have enough friends. Actually, I don't need more friends. Every single time it has happened, and every single time it does happen, the thought of me thinking I'm unlovable creeps in and only gets stronger and stronger with every person that tells me that. Why do these people, they barely even got to know me yet, how do they already know they don't like me? But you know you like me enough to only be my friend forever? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Because if I really am this great person with this good personality, and I'm kind, and I'm funny, and I'm attractive, I feel like I would have experienced by now. I'm kind of just over it. I'm just kind of really tired of going through this process and getting disappointed and then making myself feel like shit. I feel like it's almost like self-harming no, that's wrong. That's the wrong word to use, no. But also I feel like if I were to cut out love, that's also hurting myself. So I don't know, maybe I just gotta take one of the lesser evils. Honestly, I would rather someone just be like, I don't like you, than be like, I wanna be friends. Hate that, hate that, hate that, just reject me. By the way, I'm usually like a blocker. Once I get hurt, block. gone. Cut at the source, I cut at the root. But in this case, I did not block because I know that's probably very harsh. So I did not block this person this time around. And I guess like with Toasters, with their be here now philosophy, I just gotta live in the moment and keep living my life. And that's what I'm gonna do. Things happen that you can't control and you just gotta roll with the punches and stay present. Anyway, that is pretty much all for this chatty catch-up video. I'm now just realizing I asked you guys on my YouTube community page for questions and I totally did not answer any of those questions today because I kind of forgot. But I will answer those in a future video. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment about anything I've talked about and your thoughts. It really helps out a lot. The YouTube algorithm has really hated me lately. I'm not gonna lie. I'll see you guys next Friday for a new video. Bye.